So this is how it all started, a abandoned, wrecked and sunk speedboat. And this is where we left off. Fully painted, everything epoxied, and it's time to put on the finishing touches. So I want to put a level floor in the boat so that I can install some seats there. What I've done is I set up this laser and it projects the laser which runs from the top of that slat on the right side to the top of this slat here on the left side. So we'll be resting on those, but there'll be a bit of a gap here in the middle. So I'll be filling that out with some supporting wood so that the flooring that I put in will be supported on all the slats, and any pressure of two people sitting inside will be divided among the whole bottom of the boat. So on Marketplace I found these really cool chairs that will match the boat really well. I made a template to tell me where the mounting holes of these chairs will go, and I then proceeded to transfer these onto the plywood. The chairs will be installed using stainless steel fasteners, and here you can also see the central rib that I measured earlier with the laser measure that will make sure that this platform is supported by all the slats of the boat. Next up, I made sure that the plywood is stained and then epoxied because it's going to be receiving a lot of rainwater, and also after you go for a swim you just want the inside of the boat to be able to get wet without rotting. And then it's time to slide it all into place. I'm really excited with what these chairs do for the overall look of the boat. And then it's time to get this thing an engine. I looked into getting a new one, but ended up opting for a second-hand one that I found on Marketplace for half the money, including a fuel tank and shifter box, so 9.9 horses ready to go. So I've put the motor in place, and as you can see, it's quite a machine for this little boat, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm trying to install everything. So first thing is the shifter box, which will go right there next to the handlebars. Challenge is that it will have to fit through quite a narrow opening towards the back of the boat, so it will have to fit through there, which it won't. So I'll have to disconnect these cables so I can just run the cables through and reconnect everything. So I'll follow the cables. It's 2 shifter cables and 1 power cable. 1 shifter cable goes onto this handle lever, and as you can see they just connect with this pin that I can pull out, and then it will slide off. Secondary cable goes inside the motor. Remove the hood so I can see where it went, and if you follow it, it's right there. And then similar type situation, just pull out this little clip and then she'll slide right off. Lastly, the power cable, so it's this one, goes inside the motor. You can see it connecting here, so I can just unplug this one, and the other cable seems to be an earth cable or ground cable, goes into there. So I'll just take a mental picture and a physical picture of what this looks like, disconnect everything, run it through the boat, and then reconnect everything up, and then we should soon be in business. Next up, I installed the hardware on the deck. Apparently these things are called fair leads, and I also ended up installing a bunch of cleats to attach the ropes to the boat. And I found a very cool torpedo cleat that you put in the middle of the deck that I'll show you a little bit later. So pre-drilled everything, and then using stainless steel screws I screwed it all down in places where there's actually plenty of supporting wood to ensure that it's strongly connected to the boat. Next, of course, every boat needs a name. So the initial name I chose for the boat was Stern. However, I later changed my mind and I ended up renaming her to Runabout, since that's the type of boat that this is. And I just thought it'd be a really cool name to have a runabout to go about town. There's that torpedo cleat that I told you about earlier, along with all the other hardware of the boat installed, the steering mechanism in place, shifter box, motor, all ready to go. So time to take her out on the water. And since it's such a small boat modeled on a piece of plywood, it actually fits a standard transporter van. So that's how we were able to get her to the harbor. Let's go. Arriving at the harbor, we used this massively overkilled crane that can lift ships up to 10 tons in and out of the water to just put this 100 kilo little plywood boat into the water. And this is the big moment. See if she floats and if all the work has paid off. And there's the magic touchdown, and she floats. So really nice to see. All is well. Slightly heavy on the back because of the big motor, but she lies in the water beautifully, and time to take her out for a spin.
Hey Mo, super bedankt.
On the way to Amsterdam, we got absolutely dwarfed by the cruise ships, but then arriving in the calm and beautiful town, this was the vibe. So the Maiden voyage was a great success. We just had a lot of fun that day. And over the next couple of days, I just took everybody out on the water. So here's my nephew, my brother, coming along for the ride.
And go. En nog een keer, doe maar.
Just 3 weeks after I first put the boat in the water, it was sail, which only happens every 5 years, where a massive amount of tall ships from all over the world come to visit the city, and it was very special to see that from the little boat. As summer wound down, it was time to take the boat out of the water. I bought this trailer so I could take the boat out and get back to wrenching for a couple of improvement ideas I had. Now I don't have a lot of footage on this, so I'll quickly run you through the pictures I have of the improvements that I made. So the main thing I did was change the steering system. It was very hard to remove this without destroying the dashboard, so I ended up replacing everything, including the wheel. But it allowed me to make a new dashboard which was more sturdy, allowed for more leg space, put a beautiful new wheel in that I found on Marketplace, and just made sure that the whole steering system towards the motor ran very smoothly. So here you can see the results. I cut it out of water resistant plywood, epoxied it, painted it, and installed the steering system and wheel. The finishing touches were these cup holders in between the seats, and like I said before, I renamed the boat Runabout, which has stickered here on the back, and I installed a hydrofoil wing on the tailpiece of the motor for extra speed. And lastly, I bought this cover for the boat, and I installed these snap-on pins that allow for super easy attachment and removal. And then of course the big question, what did it all cost? So adding up all the things that I spent on this boat is 342 euros in wood, 190 for fasteners, 130 for hardware, chairs were 90, epoxy and paint came down to 340, the motor was the most expensive with 2,649, the new steering system I installed was 270, I bought the trailer for 350 euros and just other miscellaneous for around 200 euros. So when we add up all these costs, we get to a grand total of 4,561 euros that I ended up spending on this project. And here you can see the results of the jobs I did over winter. So you can see the boat wheeling a little bit, but because of the hydrofoil, it now levels out, the whole boat comes out of the water, and you can see how fast it's going and how smooth it's handling. So back to the main question of this video, was it all worth it? Well, I'm just gonna leave you with some footage of the following summer, and you can judge for yourself.
Wauw, dit is niks in de stad.